But yeah, everyone has to go.
Don't be shy.
I can go first.
Sure.
Give
Yay.
me 1 second. Sorry, I'm like horrible at screen sharing and whatnot, so give me 1 second. Okay, is everybody good? Can you see everything?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. My name's Mia, and I'm going to be presenting my swimwear brand line called Joyful. Oh, okay. So the mission of Joyful is to create a sustainable swimwear to empower individuals, she's, theys, and gays to shop confidently while contributing back to the environment and to the future body positivity movement. Our vision was to create the new norm of how bodies look and not how they should look. So while using sustainable manufacturing and recycled materials, it was really important to implement that along the way as well. We value sustainability, diversity, inclusion, and honesty. And these are some of the kind of inspos for the design that ended up being in the top right corner over here. And so I was having trouble, but it was a lot easier to go with something that appealed to my eye, I feel like, rather than something very digitally and computer generated kind of looking. And I felt like that's not exactly in the realm of what I was shooting for anyway. So this is the style guide I ended up with. It kind of still changed over the course of this semester and DeCal in general. I'm super indecisive, but this was originally like what I was striving for. I feel like I ended up going with more a simplistic vibe. These were kind of some of the mood board. This is the mood board that I kind of went off of in the beginning and then ended up going back to the style guide and just kind of made it in between, and that's what I went with. And then the bottom gray butterfly is the inspiration for what I actually came up with, and I try to make it more simple so it would be a better logo. And then this was the business card I ended up with. I feel like it's really fun and funky, so went well with everything. These are some of the posters I also ended up with. I had a lot of fun making them actually, and I feel like it was really cool to diversify what I was able to do rather than just sticking to one kind of like similar aesthetic. And then these are some of the assets I ended up doing. I did like a tote bag that would be like a beach bag for the beach. This is the swimwear line or the pool, and then the packaging, and then also just like some clothing tags for the whole idea. And this was definitely like a big part of it, was just making sure that it stayed in kind of like a trendy swimwear suit and staying inclusive and diverse, but also making it kind of fun and funky, because I feel like it's really important. A lot of the plus size swimwear brands right now, like that you'll see at Target or whatever, is they're unflattering, they're covering everything, and that's not the point of this. This is to embrace everything and to still feel like you are beautiful. I think I missed a slide, it might have got deleted, but some of the brand rationale things I was going to talk about was that this brand came to mind just recently. I've learned a lot about body image, eating disorders, and how important it is to speak and normalize different bodies. That's why this swimwear brand came to mind. It's like a bikini might not seem like much, but it's really kind of just really raw, and it's showing everything, and it can take a lot of courage to wear one. The direction I wanted my brand to go in was just what I was saying this whole time, like diverse, inclusive, and staying sustainable. One of the posters I wanted to talk about was this one right here, where it says joyful at the body, and the body is outlined by just the sentence be joyful. I feel like it's kind of acknowledging that there is no one right way, and to promote that there are different body types with like a simple bikini that I feel like was impactful. And then some of the colors that I stuck with, as you can see on this slide too, are just like very neutral. And I wanted to pick colors that were bold. So I chose red as like the main color, and then also some like beige colors to represent like sand, and then some blues and greens to just play with like natural colors. And then the third thing I want to justify is the logo. A butterfly for me really symbolizes and represents being able to like fly gracefully, and they're just beautiful. And I feel like that's what I want people to feel when they wear this brand. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you for sharing. So if anyone, yeah, please like feel free to type in chat or like verbally say like your thoughts and comments. And out of respect, if you can turn your cameras, that'd be great. This is the last class, so literally like no harm done. But yeah, I guess like honestly, really great presentation. You had like the animations and stuff, it made it like chef's kiss. And I think like I really love like the message that you're spreading and like the posters. I think especially like the bag mock-up and the poster with like the why, like the joyful, like to be joyful. I really love that, and I think you really like showed like put thought to like making sure that your message was prevalent across like all like the assets and messaging you had. So really great job.
Thank you.
Hey, I didn't read the comments, but really nice. Or read the comments. I'm in the chat. It's not a YouTube video. But but yeah, if anyone wants to go next, that'd be great.
I can go next. Okay.
For sure, you go.
Okay. I like misunderstood the presentation like slide element, so I can just like move around this Figma thing, all my stuff. So my brand is Creamer, and it's like vegan coffee creamer, and it's like all natural, and it's meant to be affordable. And like within like the past 2 days, I kind of went through this like I basically redid everything because I was gonna try and do like this lettering thing, but I couldn't figure it out on Photoshop. So I kind of just stuck with like a pre-made font. But I knew I liked these colors and like the 70s-ish kind of vibe. So I still tried to stay true to that. And yeah, so like here's my business card. And then here's a little creamer flavors. I have chocolate, almond, hazelnut and vanilla, and like salted caramel. And yeah, here's a few assets. I kind of did all of this in like a day because like I said, I had to rebrand everything. But yeah, I don't know what else I'm supposed to say.
Your thought process and like your like reflections.
Oh, okay. My thought process was I really liked like the curvy look, and I was trying to like keep that somehow in my brand, even though I couldn't like figure out how to do everything exactly how I wanted to. So I was playing with these, and then I realized like if I put this on a carton, I can kind of just let the colors speak for themselves, and like have that kind of show the just like the neutral colors, and have that be the flavors. And then I guess for like thought process and like reflections, I kind of just realized that you can switch things up really fast and kind of have something that's still workable. It doesn't have to be exactly how you envisioned it at the beginning, because mine definitely isn't, but it still turned out to something like I'm proud of, even though it's definitely not, it wasn't the plan.
Yay! Thank you for sharing. I love it. It's so cute. I love the colors. I love the logo you ended up with. It's really cute and like, yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I think the assets you made were super cute, like the bag and the stickers. Just gives me good vibes, and I feel like the mood board really kind of reflects what you ended up going for.
This is the first time seeing like the carton mock-ups, and I think that was such a good choice. Like, and I think you made a good choice having everything like a different color, because it does get the product across best. I think like this is something of different flavors and it's a creamer, whereas like the other mock-ups wouldn't have done that on their own. So I think this is like a really nice piece, and it really tied your whole brand together. So good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mallet. Yeah, if anyone wants to go next.
I can go, I guess. Also, woo, vegan. I'm lactose intolerant, so that is like a game changer. I'm like, yes. But gastrointestinal distress. Woo. Sorry, I will share my screen. But my brand is called, I don't know why this is on the side. It's Lila's Lunchbox. It's like an Indian recipe website, I guess, that you can sort of like cross-reference and search by a bunch of different terms, and it will give you like the easiest recipes, the recipes from a different like area, and it's supposed to be like basically like a recipe sharing type platform. And so this is my logo in like my color scheme. And so the colors I went for are here in my style guide, and I really wanted them to be like bright and poppy and exciting, and a lot of the teals and reds and yellows are really common in a lot of like Indian fancy wear and Indian like art and stuff like that. And so I really wanted to like bring that part of like my culture into that a little bit. And then these are the fonts I used throughout. I wanted, I kind of, in my like process, I wanted to go back and forth between like sort of like cute and simple and fun, but also sort of like elegant. And so I sort of like bounce between these two different textiles while doing that. And then a lot of my like illustrations and stuff all came from this little vegetable drawings I did. And so I tried to pull in all the colors into using that. And then these are my mood boards from the beginning. And I sort of ended up with a mix of all of them. Like I pulled pieces from different places, but mostly from these top two. And so that's where a lot of my like bright colors, but also sort of the blues come in. And yeah, this is my logo development. So I sort of started with a lot of different images. I was trying to like make an actual lunchbox, and I couldn't really draw a lunchbox because I'm not that much of an artist. I was like, a leaf is pretty good. And so I went forward with the leaf idea, and it went through a lot of different like color palette changes and a lot of different like stroke weights and all sorts of stuff. So that was a really cool experience, taking that like just that one asset and making it like all the iterations it went through, because it started like here and it ended up like this. So it was a lot of different changes, but that was pretty cool too. And then, so my first asset is my business card, I guess. And I wanted to bring in those bright colors again, the sort of like looping fonts and a little bit of the like, I guess like mehndi is what we call it, but like henna. So I wanted to get like sort of the sweeping lines and the like the little dots and like leaves and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of it was inspired from. And then I made a poster using the vegetables I had, and I had like a little tagline on it. And then I made the actual website. This is what the website is supposed to look like in reality, I guess, when you're using it, or at least a couple of the pages for it. So like a landing page and sort of an about me page or about the brand page. And then I made an app version just because mostly when I cook, I don't actually bring my computer with me when I do it. I'm just like scrolling on my phone for a really small recipe. So, and then I made a box because I thought it's part of the difficulties in making Indian food sometimes is getting like all the spices, because I know there's a variety of them. Sometimes it's difficult to get them. A lot of them you have to get in like special places. So I thought it would be cool to have like a set box that would give you like a spice packet, like a flavoring packet, and you can just sort of like add that to like basic curries and stuff like that. And so I made like a little box for that to come in. And then I made a spice bottle that could be like another version of how that could be like sold. And then the tag was really hard to see, so I made like a separate tag little image for that. And yeah, I was just it was sort of, the whole brand was inspired by my grandmother, and I was just sort of thinking that like my whole family, basically all of our love languages is like making food and giving food to people. So I really wanted to like share that and make a way for people to share that. And that was sort of like my idea behind all of it, I guess. And it was really cool going through all of it. I wouldn't consider myself an artist, but I think through like the tutorials we had and watching stuff, I'm like, now I know how to use Illustrator and like basic Photoshop, and that's super cool. It's not a thing I would have thought I could do before. So that was really exciting about this class. And yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I feel like you should definitely consider yourself an artist. Like those illustrations are so cute. Like everything's so cute.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love how this brand turned out. Like the colors really pop and they're so vibrant. I really like the font you ended up choosing. It still feels kind of like handwritten and like homey and authentic, but like, you know, legible and elegant. So great job on that. And I think you put a lot of like thoughtfulness in the assets you chose, and like they feel really cohesive with your brand.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. I loved the energy of the presentation, your energy. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think to echo some of Katrina's statements, like it just seems like it's like a thoroughly investigated, like well thought out brand. Like he thought of everything, like from like the website and like getting the spices and how that's delivered, and like the spice bottle and the packets and everything. And just blend well. And I really, really like the vegetable illustrations. I'm glad
Thanks.
you use it everywhere. Yeah, nice.
Stop. Share.
Thank you, Mira. We're having energy, especially in this class.
Thank you.
Yeah. If anyone wants to go next.
I will go next.
Everyone, you can take it.
Share my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so my brand is called Flower. And it's, wait, let me see, how do you move this? Interesting. Oh, there you go. Okay, so my brand is called Flower, and it's a podcast that motivates, inspires, and ignites creativity, passion, and self-improvement. And I got the idea for this because I myself listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm down, or when I need motivation, or just when I need that extra push to, you know, start something. And a quote that I was very inspired by to start this brand is like, make today your day one and not your one day. So you got to do it your day one and don't make it a one day. So that was something my brand revolved around. It was that quote. So this is my logo. I made this very like illustrative, very like flowy. And the ER button is like the recording button. So it's, yeah. And I kept the colors very simple, very naturey and orange and warm, and just very homey. And then this is my secondary logo, which I was still kind of iffy about right now, but it's just something that I just kind of thought of. Oh yeah, and this is like, she's like watering like herself, because water and flowers and the sun. Yeah. And this is my business cards. It actually went through a lot, but through a lot of like advice from you guys. This is my end of product. I really like it because it's very like bold. I'm very into like bold colors and just pop it pops out a lot, which I love. Um, and then I tried using Figma. I think Figma definitely was a challenge for me. Um, I didn't know where to click, but somehow I made this happen. So this is just like a podcast page, like where the podcast would look like, and this is the sign up and login page. Pretty simple. And then this is the activity page where you just pick what you want to like improve. And the top says, what flower do you want to water today? Just kind of like a play on word thing. And again, with like the illustrations, I want to keep it very creative because that's like what my brand I want to revolve around. So these are the quote that I was inspired by and some illustration that I did and some other ones. Let's bloom good thoughts. A little rain is needed for the sun to shine the brightest. I'm very quotesy, so yeah. So these are my poster mock-ups. Yeah, and a little postcard at the end if you like stationaries. And then these are the canvas tote bags, which is just the flower in the middle. And I just made it like a variation of it. So you have different flowers, like all the flowers together. And then the last thing I did was like yesterday, I just kind of made the posters into a little sticker. But yeah, that's basically my presentation. And I definitely had fun doing this and I learned a lot. And I look forward to this class every day of the week. So yeah, thank you.
So sweet. I love it. Yeah, I really appreciate like your consistency, just in like the style and the colors, in your illustrations. That was such a nice touch. Those are really beautiful. So yeah, good job. Oh, also I really like that one page. Like, I think it was your logo process, or it was one like about process, and you just did a really nice. Yes, this one. It's really difficult, I think, to show your process in like a pretty way, but also like a process kind of sketchy way. And I think you did a really good job with that. So like I'm going to take this as inspiration for myself going forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely second Ella's opinion on like the presentation and like how you show process is nice and refreshing to see. And one other note is like you said you're very quotesy, and I think that's a good thing because you have really good copywriting in your brand, and it fits well with the pocket. Like it made me feel encouraged reading it. So yeah, that's good work.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and please, if you ever sell these prints, we'll buy them.
Yes, I will
Yeah.
enter my Etsy shop sooner or later. Thank you.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, if anyone wants to go next.
Maybe we should like popcorn to people. I don't know. We're going to start to forget who is gone, but might be one way.
I think we can just do volunteer in case like some people aren't present. I don't know, but yeah, if anyone just wants to go next, but we'll make sure that everyone goes.
Yeah, I can hop on next.
Sure. Okay, then.
Hold on. I thought I was ready. Maybe I'm not. Okay. So this is I also a bit misunderstood, I think, what the goal of the presentations were, but mine is in reading format, not necessarily in presentation format, so I hope that's okay. My
I'll just clarify for everyone. So, yeah, the presentation you can just present like the book that you submit. You don't have to make like a big presentation. You can just like share what you did. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I have a lot of text, so I might be glossing over that at some points. So for my brand is Poke Remix. It is a like restaurant idea that was started by my parents back in like 2016 for me, like early high school. And it's just bringing the Poke Bowl, build your own Poke Bowl to Seattle for the first time. So when I was exploring a lot of different logo ideas, I ended up settling on this, I guess, typographic minimalist style that I was able to play around with and engage like the different colors that I had decided as well. When choosing colors, I wanted to focus on kind of, I guess, the colorful nature of your typical poke bowl. And I think a lot of similar brands or like similar other restaurants of this had a lot of other restaurants had like I guess a similar style or aesthetic, but I wanted to bring I guess a little bit more color into my designs. So that was something that I very much emphasized in my brand. Additionally, the font that I chose, Comforta, was very round and playful. So that's something that I wanted to ensure that I continued throughout the rest of my assets. Um, Coming off of, I guess, initial sketches and mood boards, I had a lot of different ideas of what possible ways I could take this just because there are so many other restaurants and brands that do similar things. But what I had kind of narrowed down on was, I guess, this more pastel style, I guess, was my mood board, but then it ended up getting more vibrant as I continued on. And I had a bunch of different other logo options that I also enjoyed as well, trying to engage in different, deciding whether or not I wanted to engage in more like, I guess, icons versus purely type, which I ended up actually going with in the center. But I was able to bring some of those pieces back in future assets, which was cool as well. So here's the, I don't know if I should like say anything on these, but here's the business card. I started on this poster as well. Then I think the asset that I spent the most time on was this menu, focusing in a lot on, I guess, type language, as in our like breakout rooms a couple weeks ago had talked about different types of like DJ lingo or jargon to kind of tie back into the brand itself. Because I remember like my dad's initial idea of like Poke Remix, it would have like a turntable or whatever, but that didn't end up coming to fruition in my logo. So I brought it back in the type or in the language. Next up I have some like just chopstick and bowl mock-ups, bringing in the same color and white logo. I couldn't decide which signage I liked better, so I was playing around with a couple of different options for that. Some stickers, and I brought back one of my initial logo designs as well for the sticker, just because I think it fits really well in the circle. And then this is my text. This was me trying to justify it all for the presentation, but that's what I got.
Well, great job, Jordan. Yeah, really good. Yeah, really strong brand. I really love how in your like your menu you really thought about copywriting, and that like I think it really elevated your brand even more. Like you really played on played on the remix concept or like the DJ concept. And I really love like I think like as you like progress your presentation, like it seemed real. Like it seemed like it looked it better be real. So yeah,
My parents told me 2 weeks ago that they're trying to start a new restaurant, so I'll probably be doing this again for their new venture, maybe.
oh my god, yeah, yeah. You can read the comments; they're all like really cute. Like you say,
Great.
yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jordan. But yeah, if anyone wants to volunteer next.
I can go next. So my brand is Student Wave. Created it with a friend back in 2019. Basically, it's like Upwork for students. It's like basically a platform for students to utilize their talents to find like different kind of jobs around the community, and like for parents to eliminate word of mouth recommendations so they can have like an all-in-one platform to find these students. So this is like the first slide. I basically put the logo on each slide just to keep it cohesive. The whole mission of the company is to empower students to like utilize their talents and gain meaningful work experience while like empowering communities and driving like the economy in like local communities. And I like basically envision a future for this company where like education like drives students like motivation, so they can utilize different talents that they have and make money off of it. And a big thing about our company is like the local connection, the native feel. We don't want it to make it feel like a corporate company. We want to make it feel like just like a local small business, but in different communities. For the overall idea for like the brand, I just found some cool waves, Japanese waves in particular, to go along with the name of the company, and also to keep kind of like the friendly aspect of like the beach. So as you can see, like the blue colors really stood out to me, and also like the white contrasting with that. Um, so initially, I created the company in 2019, and I found that I wasn't really good at designing. So I took this class to kind of redesign the brand, and I learned a lot about colors, fonts, and also like about the power of a logo. And I really redesigned like my entire website. Through using this class, and I like created a whole color palette. um, I I chose the blue, obviously, you know, because it's very inviting and friendly. And then I chose the Poppins font in particular, like the semi bold version, just because it's very I guess professional, but also minimalistic at the same time, and it looks good just with the colors that I'm using. And then I definitely knew that the logo had to have a Japanese wave, because I feel like that's very unique and I don't really see that often. So I was definitely inspired by what I saw on Pinterest. So initially, like some of the sketches that I had, I'm not very good at drawing, so I definitely couldn't draw the wave. So I gave it my best shot. As you can see, I was kind of all over the place. Um, this is an empty slide, and this is the logo that I decided on. So it's utilizing that Poppins font, and then also just has a simple O wave on it. In terms of business cards, I like the tan and blue feel. I feel like those colors really complement one another. And I also liked how I basically put all the words around the business card, because it kind of makes clients or people who are looking at the business card like look around and see like the Instagram or the phone number, the website around it. And then this poster illustrates like all the services that we offer. You know, we offer like tutoring, babysitting, sports, music, dog sitting, photography, etc. I didn't want to add all of them, so I just picked the most common ones that parents like to hire kids for. And then also during class, I was told to put the website name. So I think people will, you know, use this poster and go to the website. And also I basically shaped the student wave font like a wave to also complement the name of the company. Here's a photo of the website currently. I totally redid it after doing this class. I changed up the colors, and I definitely need to add the new logo on the new website. And then here's a mock-up of a t-shirt that I really want to make. And then basic stickers, maybe to give to students. And then here's the mobile version. It's in the process, definitely have to work on it a little bit more. But yeah, and I'm really grateful to take this class because I feel like it really helped me like learn, you know, Photoshop and Illustrator in depth, and I hopefully will use it to better my company and hopefully take advantage of what I learned. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. This was great. This was a great presentation. I really like how you laid everything out. The whole time I was really waiting for like student wave to be in a wave. So like when you finally showed it in the poster, I was really happy. I like the colors you chose. I feel like they're really professional and clean, and obviously they feel cohesive with your brand, with like that really calming blue. And I'm really excited that you're actually planning on using these assets in real life. So that's awesome. And I really like the idea of like ride the wave. Yeah, it just feels really inclusive and cool. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, same here. Like, I think it's really nice to see that you're actually going to be using this out in the world. So that's really nice. But like as Katrina was saying, like this is definitely feels like really inclusive. And I think because you were kind of talking about how this isn't like some, big corporate thing. And I think that you really hit that just with your like fonts and your choice of color. Really love the poster composition. And I think there is something about using the wave. I think it's like that makes me think of the antisocial social club thing. And then that makes you think of like community and being part of an organization or a club. So I think all of those small choices really contributed to that feeling as a I guess a customer or audience member. So congrats.
Yeah, I would second those notes. I think like blue is typically a very corporate color, but you've made like subtle adjustments to now it reads very friendly and inviting instead of like cold corporate. So that's very nice. And your business card, the back of your business card is very, very clean. I don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Yeah, I saw you. I think I did. I was your, I guess, like TA for the semester, and it's like really interesting to see how like you change your brand over time. But yeah, thank you so much, and for attending taking this class. Yeah, excited to see what you do.
Thank you.
I see like I think because yeah, excited to see like how your company will grow in the future because you are the co-founder, right?
Yeah, I'm like the CEO. So yeah.
Very nice. Yes, for sure. I think Kyle volunteered to go next, so he can go.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so my company is Refills. It's a company that works with e-commerce providers to aggregate your products, and comes with a trash can that has a mesh API where if you drop your product in, it'll scan it and then it'll automatically refill those orders by working with e-commerce providers to place that product at your door. So an example would be like your toilet paper rolls. After you throw them in the trash would scan it, and then after a couple of days, it would automatically provide you new toilet paper, so you're never actually out of products. So our vision is to simplify the consumer experience. Our mission is we strive to offer the most convenient, efficient, and welcoming all-in-one direct consumer shopping experience. And our values are striving for excellence, embracing efficiency across our teams, seamlessly deliver, support one another, and believe it's possible. So to start with a little bit of visual identity and some of that, I don't know, inspiration, I went on Pinterest and was really focusing on that natural, fresh, innovative aspect that you see in a lot of tech companies, but without seeming too traditional, without seeming like a traditional Facebook or Twitter. So I kind of did a lot of that research, and this is kind of some of the insights I've gained. And this is a black and white logo. So for the black and white logo is really about evoking that meaning without necessarily using color, which is, we talked about in class a lot, which is really difficult. So that little icon on the left is really supposed to be a pseudo QR code. So it's going to kind of be what the actual image looks like when it's scanned, but also it seems very fluid. So it has this kind of two-dimensional aspect where it's not only like a scannable QR code like symbol, but it also is that fluid, efficient imagery that we search for, as well as another thing that we discussed a lot is using that F and going into the I to kind of initiate that cycle. So next, in terms of typeface, I used Poppins. I used a really bold sans serif typeface that catches the eye, but also it's pretty simple and pretty clean. And in terms of colors, it was really utilizing the green and the dark blue a lot. I think those are colors that are often associated with kind of tech and innovation, but also doesn't feel too traditional. I think in the tech space, it still feels a little more out there, especially because they're a little more muted colors. So this would be an example business card. It's pretty simple. I didn't try to go too crazy with this one, but it kind of really shows how it can be utilized in everyday instances. So the slogan I came up with was never again, kind of that concept of, your product will never be empty again, and then kind of utilizing like really bold imagery. And I feel like the idea was really to catch attention of nearby passerbys and really just focus on the brand. I'm still thinking maybe that text in the bottom left should be increased a little, but really it was about like, this will never happen again, and building brand awareness and, leading to direct click-throughs to the website. So this was the website. It's pretty simple UI. And I tried to really make sure it works with the app. but it's really keeping it simple. It's having, streamlining the process, just like the actual company does itself. The whole brand identity is streamlining your process, being efficient. So having that message come across on the website was really important. And then this would be the UI as well. I was looking at Amazon's UI and it seems very busy. So my idea was really simplifying as much as possible, wherever possible. And again, I don't have all the pages set up, but this kind of shows how simple everything looks. And this would be an example box. I'm not sure if I like the cardboard look yet, but I do think it's very clean, it's very simple, and it really drives across that brand identity. And that could happen with whatever products you use, because it's really working with various different brands and having different products shipped to your door. This would be an example delivery cart. I don't know, I utilize the pattern maybe a little too much here, but again, really utilizing those colors and that energy that is supposed to be associated with the brand. In terms of brand rationale, so due to Refill's core brand identity, the idea of refilling products based on trash can is really important. So it's really utilizing that mix of friendly, cutting edge aesthetics, so really pushing the boundaries, but also feeling like it's accessible to a wide variety of people. And then the slogan, and I talked about it a little bit more, so I'm not gonna go over brand rationale too much. In terms of reflection, I think it was a really rewarding experience. Building a brand from start to finish is really different, because I think a lot of my past experience was doing individual designs and being given brand guidelines already. So kind of going through that whole process by myself was interesting and difficult and fascinating. And also understanding brand rationale and usage for each asset, because I think it's really easy to just kind of go and make something that you try to make it look visually appealing, but really utilizing it and saying, how does this tie into the brand idea and the brand identity, while also having character, not seeming too uniform, is difficult. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
That was sick. That was awesome. Thank you for that. I feel like your presentation was really well thought out and you're really well spoken. So great job on that. And the assets were really great. Like everything looks super professional. I also just want to say your brand really reminds me of Kite, like KYTE. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand, but like they use pop-ins. They also use a dark navy and a bright green. So if you want to check them out, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it was a great brand. Like I feel like your rationale for everything was so well thought out. Like the entire concept itself was so well thought out. Like it seemed like a real thing you're ready to propose to like venture capitalists or whatever. So yeah, great job. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. And yeah, I just looked at the website. You're right. It has similar vibes, which I think is interesting. I wonder, do a little research about how that looks and how my brand could work to kind of almost, I don't know if I want to imitate it, but I do like some of the things that they utilize in their brand. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Yeah, the truck. I was just laughing at the truck, but no, it's good. It's a good thing. It's just I just do not expect a truck. But yeah, yeah, great job, Kyle. Thank you so much for being in this class. And yeah, I think Chad volunteered to go next.
Sure. I didn't realize we had to like make a presentation. I have like all my assets and everything that I could still present and
Yeah.
talk.
Well, FYI, if you haven't finished like putting all your assets individually or submitting your final deck, please do so by the end of the day.
Oh yeah, I have all the assets like in a file. I didn't like that's submitted already.
Yeah, but yeah, that's for everyone.
Oh, okay. Uh, I guess so. It's kind of out of order, but like this is my brand. It's Musashi's. It's pretty much like a Japanese supermarket. That was like my idea. I don't know what else I'm supposed to talk about. I guess for my first asset or my posters, I had a couple posters that I made with like different products that I would want to be selling, I guess. I have my business cards. Here's the front of it, and then here's the back. Here's my mock-up of my business cards. I did a mock-up of like a shopping bag because I'm a grocery store. I did a mock-up of like a poster, like maybe that would be in the windowsill or something. I did a mock-up of a van because I plan on doing like home deliveries or having to pick up um, bulk goods. And then here's like the hand-drawn stuff before I came up with my final logo. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have any like rationale or like thoughts on like why?
Oh,
And
so like my whole brand is like pretty much like uh, provide the community I'm in with like local Asian, Japanese products from like Japan to give them like the Japanese feel of like going to like maybe like a convenience store in Japan, because like convenience stores are like really like big there and they're very different from like convenience stores in America. I think my whole goal was to try to be like bring the whole convenience store feel of Japan to the US. Uh,
do you have any like thoughts on like the class?
oh yeah, this class was super helpful. It was really cool because I do a lot of uh, social media work kind of for my family's business, which is basically a Japanese supermarket. So this is actually kind of like a spin-off of that. But the name I used was my grandpa's middle name, and I wanted to like make like a sub brand off of my family's brand and potentially like use this for something else in the future. Obviously, I have to like do a little bit more work to it, but yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I really like the logo. So I feel like there's just so much in it, and it does make me kind of feel like I'm at home. And I like the mission and the values of the brand and how you kind of just want to like offer like a place for Asian food. Feels really comforting and nice to me. So great job on that. I really love the assets you picked, and I like that you used a truck as well. So yeah, I really like the little details like the clouds and the little swirls in the clouds, along with just like the lines of green and the plants. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think like the logo, like your choice to use like illustration definitely gives like the feeling of like a kind of like local like home, market and stuff like that. So I think that was pretty successful. So yeah, I'm hope to I hope it goes well for you, working this into your family's business and all that. It's always super nice to see these things out in the real world. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chad. I think see you is next, right?
Yeah, thank you. Um, oh, shit. So hi guys. My brand name is Meraki, and then so like Meraki is like a word that modern Greeks often use to describe doing something with soul, creativity, or love. And the reason why I named my brand this name because like I want to create like a girl brand that can promote like woman independence, freedom, like how to love yourself. And so like this is the first black and white logo. So like so some of them are like I was like a bit clueless, and then I used some of the symbols provided by like Adobe.
Ooh, that was
So
some
like
bullshit. I just
so like and then this is the colored logo that I did. I picked like three of them to like do the color logo, and the color are like most of them are like more like dramatic and like yeah pinky. And this is like my work progress, and I mainly use like Illustrator to draw it, so like it's not really good because like I'm a beginner of the Illustrator. And this is my business card, and same I use Illustrator pen to draw the leaves. Not really pretty, but like yeah. And And so this is the poster that I did. And then so like I did two versions. So one is like a brighter mode and another one is like a dark mode. And so this is my mock-up. So it's this brand is mainly like a clothing or accessory brand. So like this is on the cap and then bag, tote bag, I mean mask, and then hoodie, t-shirt, and a mug cup. So like reflection will be like so before taking this class, like I was interested in this class because like I wanted to become like a marketing specialist. So like I have a few marketing internships, so I know how important branding is in the marketing field, and because that's what attracts people to like buy your stuff if you have a good branding. So like during this class I learned a lot, like both in principle, like design principle, and like practical skills, so both in theory and practical skills. And I'm so grateful that I learned Figma and Photoshop here. So like I kind of changed my idea from like becoming marketing, and now I actually quite interested in like in UI UX after listening to like Jago's class. And then I think um, I'm very glad that I finally found my interest. And I realized my skills are not very mature, so I'm planning to take more classes in order to practice my skills and to create more products. So special thanks to like all TAs that taught me the skills and like give me really useful suggestions to my every steps in the project. And so like yeah, so the reason why I chose this brand is because I was inspired by a class I took last semester about women independence, and like I did really understand the importance of it. So like I believe women can gain more confidence and feel more passionate about their life if we are like financially and mentally independent, and then also provide like a sense of security and dignity to ourselves. So I think being like financially independent can also like improve and raise our quality of life, because in my home country, like women are not so like independence are not that promoted. So like just like my mom, she's like a housewife. I mean, I appreciate what she did, but like they don't really have time to take care of their own needs, and I really think they should like love their self more. So like they spend their whole life in taking care of us, like kids and husband. So yeah, and then so that's why I picked this. And then as for the logo, the like as you can see, I chose the moon in the end. So that's inspired by Sailor Moon. That was like one of my favorite anime in my childhood. And the character has been I just discovered that the character have been called as like a positive female role model since 1992. Yeah, so like that's the message that I want to deliver, and thank you guys.
Yeah, I know. Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you, CU. I think you had a really strong message for your brand, and I really like how like I guess a lot of the brands that we're seeing right now are like very related to like independence or like female empowerment or just like social issues in the world today. And that's really inspiring to hear. And I think like the especially like all the like the merch mock-ups that you did, like were very like I really like the ones that you chose specifically. Showcase um like what it could look like, and I'm like yeah, it's very interesting to hear that, or very like exciting to hear that you I guess because of this class your career path could change. I don't know. That's don't credit to me, please. But if you did help, let me know.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I second what Jacob said. I mean, it's a very noble brand mission. And if you ever need help developing like more in-depth Illustrator or graphic design skills, there's a myriad of clubs and resources on campus, and always reach out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, see you. Thank you for giving this class. And yeah, I think Kelly is next.
Yeah. Okay, so my brand is Period. Um, so the mission of Period, it's a menstrual product brand, and the mission is kind of to provide comfort and the embarrassment associated with periods. And we do that using minimalistic, bold, and understated packaging instead of kind of the traditional packaging you usually see with a lot of symbols such as flowers and butterflies. And our vision is a society where menstruators are empowered instead of shamed. And our brand values are boldness, comfort, confidence, and empowerment. So this is my black and white logo. I wanted it to be simple with a really nice font and then kind of have a droplet as like the period at the end. This is the colored version. So I chose the color red. And this is my palette, typography, and an asset that I ended up using on my poster. And this was the style guide that I took inspiration from. So that's kind of mostly where I got my palette from. And this is my business card. I wanted my message to come across really simply, so that's why I kind of had the swirly, let's normalize menstruation in the front. And this is my poster. I really wanted it to have like a bold statement in the middle and then have it surrounded by imagery of pads and tampons, etc. And these are some of my other assets. So a pillow and then also a tote bag. And these are the packaging for the period products. It's simple because I didn't really want it to be covered in design that would take away from what the product actually is. And I also kind of wanted to be a little playful too with the wording. And then the last assets I have are these postcards. I don't really know what to call them, but the first two kind of match each other and are supposed to create like that splatter. And then again, I wanted the message to be very simple. So yeah, I chose this brand because I noticed that like walking in the feminine products aisle, all the products had kind of an overt use of those feminine symbols like flowers, butterflies, bows, and kind of seem to avoid the color red, which I think those kinds of designs really add to the stigma. So I wanted to do the opposite and have the packaging and designs be very bold with none of those unnecessary symbols. And I wanted it to be simple so that it wouldn't distract from what the product is either. And some of my takeaways was I really liked how simple designs can be enhanced by the right color palette or the right typography. And I also realized that minimalism is very useful if you want to like help not distract from a brand's purpose or the product's function. And then also that design and brand strategy really requires a lot of strategic thinking and consideration, no matter how simple it may look. And yeah, I really like this class and love seeing everyone's work, and I learned a lot. Thank you.
This is super cool. I love your brand concept, and I think you do a great job of definitely not going in the direction of other period products, you know, with like the butterflies, like you were saying. Because for me, that's like super frustrating. It's like the worst week of your life, and then they're like throwing smiley faces at you. So I appreciate this, just the whole concept. And also, I really love that like little pink box mock up. And I think your shapes and your gradient are just like really like make a lot of sense considering what you're trying to depict. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you do that.
I was gonna say, yeah, I've seen your work for the past couple of weeks, and I think it's like unapologetically overt about its brand mission, and that's very refreshing to see. And yeah, just especially like I guess I never realized that the blood drop or the drop was like supposed to be the period of the word period until I saw like the original, like the first slide. But now that I see it, it's very clever. and like the typology, or like just the type you chose throughout the brand was very, very nice and clean. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kelly. Great job on your on your brand, and like hope you learned something. Yeah. So I think Kennedy went volunteer next.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm Kennedy. I would usually have my computer, like my camera on, but I just got back from practice, and I'm not presentable right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and share. Can everybody see?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So my company is called I Can Love. I kind of like contributed like my name into theirs, but saying like I can as in kin. What really focuses on just like promoting self confidence and being feeling that you're beautiful within yourself. So that's kind of why I wanted to say I Can Love. So just kind of going through my journey of figuring out this thing, I kind of wanted just to focus on the typography of it because I've mainly just worked on just designs for a lot of things. So this on the side, it's a lot of my just like text and how I wanted to shape it, how I wanted it to come across. And I ended up picking the third one because I liked that it had like a heart in it too. And then I have the mood board that I submitted for like, I think it was like the third week that we did that. And I just really liked the colors and like the, what was it called? I liked how it came across as like super delicate and like very feminine. So I wanted to also contribute that and put it into my designs as well. Next is my color palette and how I was considering. I kind of wanted to make it natural, but then like super feminine. So that's why I have like the blue, the pink. And then I was considering doing like the tan and the brown because I wanted to kind of be like natural and like kind of represent like skin tones and stuff. But I actually ended up combining the brown and the pink because I felt like that best fit with what I wanted. And so here's the logo with my business cards. I kind of have just super simple, just my logo, and then just, the business and the information on the back of the business card. I also try to put the business card in a mock-up poster, and I ended up was like, I don't really like it as much because it was like really weird with like the lipstick being in front of the business card, but then the business card not being in front of like the or behind the leaves that are in the back. So I ended up changing it, and then this is kind of like my finished product. So I like to dabble in Photoshop, so I just kind of found some mock-ups that I really liked and ended up putting some of my logo in there. Definitely, if this was like if I wanted to put this in the future, I would definitely take my own pictures and put my logo on there and everything and have my products and everything. But this is just kind of what I was going for, just super clean and then very simple. And my slogan was just love Moors. And I think that was just also too simple, very simple appeal. And I also like really, I don't know, I feel like I really like having just like faces within the brand. So I wanted to include like faces of all, racial types and stuff and ethnic backgrounds. So I kind of just wanted to implement that as well. So it can be used by a lot of people and also kind of have my symbol, like the heart in it as well. But that's pretty much it for the designs and like my thought process of everything. I really enjoyed this class. I think just the learning about the design principles has really helped me in thinking about considering certain colors that would, impact the audience was like another thing that I really enjoyed learning, and just finding how it will impact the audience in the future for like other logos and looking into other things like that. But that's pretty much it.
Yay! Thank you for sharing. I think that just echoing what Ella said, I really love how you incorporated the photography into your brand. It just made it feel that much more realistic and like professional. And I feel like because your brand is kind of focused on that type of product, incorporating people who are going to use it is like just really brings the brand to life. And I think the colors used were really nice. I love the mock-ups you used. All the assets just look super stunning, and I feel like it just felt like a really real life brand to me. So like I could see this on the shelves of like Sephora if you wanted to, and that's awesome. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Candy. It's great having you here. And I think Gloria, no, I know, Katrina volunteered first.
Okay, so my brand is called Zest Organics. It's a organic food and drinks brand. I was inspired by basically my family just like buys a lot of organic food, and so I just thought it'd be a good idea to make a brand in that space, just because it is growing, and I do want to help like promote a more sustainable and healthy lifestyle. So my mission, vision, and values were all kind of around that, just promoting healthier, sustainable lifestyle. And my values were also, so I chose the word zest just because I liked that it's like, it feels like full of life and energy. And I think that's what I wanted in my brand, along with just like natural, plant-based, sustainable kind of vibes. Yeah, and then, yeah, so starting off with the logos, it was difficult for me to like be creative and think about so many different ideas. This is my first time like coming up with a logo from scratch, so it was a bit challenging, but eventually I went with this logo up here, the black, and I just liked it because it was more simple and minimalistic and could be like rearranged, like stacked if needed. And then I tried doing it like multicolored, but it didn't really work out that well. I preferred it just like one solid color. So as you can see on the right, that's what I went with for my final logo, and that's the color scheme I also chose. I like that it was like earthy, but with like a pop of color. I really like yellow and orange with green. I just like that contrast a lot. And then, yeah, this is my style guide. Like you can see, my color scheme was related to all this. And I like just like this illustrative kind of style instead of having like real pictures or I saw some that were like more artistic, like painted like foods. I just preferred this because it just felt more creative and more playful. And yeah, it's that. And then, yeah, this is my business card. I went with just like a natural cardboard look. And then I also created this like new leaf design, and then I kind of used that in my assets. Like this is also on a leaf. It wasn't really part of the logo originally, but like I like just like incorporating it here and there. Yeah, and then this is my poster. And then this is when I started also incorporating blobs. I like the shapes, like random shapes, even though they're kind of hard to work with sometimes to like naturally put them in places. I just think that they're like very playful and fun just to play around with different types of shapes. So I added some blob kind of shapes here too. And then again, you can see the leaf here that was in the business card asset as well. And then this is like this organic orange juice box that I made. So this blob kind of shape is more like a splash of orange juice, which I thought was an interesting way of doing it. And then I made just like little oranges. And then, yeah, like my logo, I did not like the way it looked on the packaging being like long. So I like stacked it instead. And then this is the milk carton, pretty similar. Like I liked the splashy kind of look. This is like pretty minimalistic and simple, but I think at the end of the day, like that's what I ended up liking more than, like I tried adding stuff, but it wasn't really working out. And then this was a cashew pouch that I made because I was eating these like honey roasted cashews the other day, and I thought it'd be cool to like make packaging for that. With this, the challenge was like making those cashews not look like macaroni. That was a big issue because they were a little yellowish at first, and it literally just looked like macaroni and cheese. So that was like an interesting challenge. Again, like I love like the orange and green. I love this like pop of color, the bright orange. And then again, I used like the blob kind of shapes. And then I just made these stickers recently with the leaf and the logo. yeah, and then the rest of my slides have a lot of words, so I'll just talk about my reflection. Yeah, this class was super useful to me, along with like just learning like visual design skills, learning Photoshop and Illustrator, just understanding the importance of like establishing, like figuring out like what you want the brand to have at the beginning, like the mission, vision, values. I think that is something that I like didn't realize before, but it helps so much just to like have that at the beginning. And also just like looking at Pinterest for inspiration and stuff. Like I think I've like since while I've been in this class, I've been using a lot of the things that I've been learning in this class in like other projects and stuff. So yeah, it's been incredibly useful. And yeah, I'm very thankful that I took this class, because I remember at the beginning just seeing like mock-ups. I remember looking at like what a previous student had done in this class and being like so impressed, and I thought it'd be so difficult to actually make those mock-ups, but like now I made them, so pretty exciting, I guess, to see the growth throughout the semester. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Katrina. Obviously, I've seen your brand a bunch over the past weeks, and as I said, I made a very similar brand, and you definitely did it better. And yeah, I love the color palette and how I think it's very clever how you negotiated your font, your main font logo, and how that fits into the like how you situate that in your different brands to negotiate sort of different dimensions and the print assets. And yeah, very cute illustrations.
Thank you.
Yeah, adding on to that, I just really like the assets you chose and like the colors that went into it, and just kind of like the background of that cashew asset really stood out to me and really popped, like the orange with the green. It just really felt like it belonged in Whole Foods. So yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I second that. Like there's that one asset had really great contrast. And I really like the name Zest. I think that's really fun. And your mood boards at the beginning, I think, were like really like packed with great material. So, and it definitely came through with the rest of your brand. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Katrina, and thank you for being in this class as well. Yeah, I think the next person is Gloria.
Hi. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
So my brand is called Rachel Lee, and it's a stationery brand. Our mission is to stationery sharing and use convey the meaning of love, care, nostalgia, environmental protection, and wake up the memory of the past and let time slow down. And the vision is to use stationery to remember history and cherish what we have already. The value is to create a community that is passionate about life and ritual traits, and remember the original aspiration, keep sincere, pay tribute to the classic, and live in the moment. And when as it's sum up, it's like the four words I focused on is passion, sincerity, classics, and originality. And this brand is designed for those who love ritual style and stationery. The piece of the old days is slow and romantic. In those days, people took a lot of little things very seriously. I want to evoke people's memories of the past era through this brand and encourage people to keep the original intention and cherish everyday life and protect and create the meaning of life. I use a combination of purple, green, and yellow to represent elegance, nature, and vitality, respectively. And my illustrations record the change of seasons, plants, and their connection with objects in the past. I also choose environmentally friendly materials, like hoping to make people feel and value the power of time and nature, take care of each other and nature. Yeah, it's a brand full of femininity and childlike innocence, and a proof to the ritual revival. This is a mood board. I basically collecting photos related to Asian ritual beauty, and lots of the images and messages became my inspirations. Then I create several local sketches by combining the idea of the stationary product, vintage style object, and nature elements to form my logo design. Then I decided those two design. The left one has the idea of the stationary bread, because it's a combination of the butterfly and the pen image. And the right one has an Asian letter style, is designed for the Asian female target consumers. And this is a color version of it. Because my main color scheme is purple, yellow, and green, I use the first line for the contrast color, and the second line for the background color and transition colors. And I use both types of fonts. One is more formal and with the handwriting style, because I want to combine the feminine and childlike feelings. And those are some illustration I made for the posters and assets. For the advertisement, I made the business card and poster. This is the business card asset. I want to make the circle image into a sticker if in reality, and people can mark the bullet points like in their notebook. Yeah, that's the idea. And this is the business card with the stationery. This is the poster at an office or public space. And those are the two posters at home on the wall. And for the product, I have a notebook, magazine, a metal mug, sticker, iPhone case, and rubber stamp. This is the magazine design. And this is the book cover. And this is the mug, the old style cup. And this is the iPhone case. And this is a sticker from the illustration. And this is a stamp. And for the package service, I have the package box and paper bag. This is a package box and some paper bag. So overall, I learned a lot from this class and like the process of branding, and I know that the good design like require lots of experiments and just and also the thinking and the concept of the brand, and really enjoying the project, and I got really encouraged to experiment more on my own in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. Yeah, I really love like the stamp asset the most. I think it really like, and like I like how your theme of like nostalgia and like retro and Asian, like the Asian inspired like illustrations really like the band's really strong together, and I really like that, especially with your posters and the poster designs with like the flowers and like the illustrations you made. And yeah, you really good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really love the illustrations. Those turned out great, and your poster mock-ups as well. So great job. And your colors are really calm, which I think fits the brand well. So great job. I'm excited. Like, I'm happy that it worked out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gloria. Karen can go next, and if all the presentations could be under like 2-3 minutes, just because we want to make sure we get for everyone before 8.
Okay, yeah, sure, totally. Let me find where my present. Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, hi, I'm Carolyn. So my brand is for a product called Boba Go. It's a reusable boba cup. So basically, I chose this brand because I wanted to address the waste that comes with boba drink consumption, and I wanted to make a brand that could encourage more environmentally friendly ways to consume this drink and other snacks from these types of stores. I want to focus, so in my designs, I want to focus on the curves of the boba balls and the cups. So a lot of things in the designs are rounded, such as the logo and the fonts and the words. Um, I incorporated a lot of blue because I in my first sketches I had a lot of water themes. So I wanted because I felt like a lot of the waste, a lot of talk is about how it heads to the ocean, hurts a lot of animals in the ocean. So I wanted to pay homage to like the ocean and bodies of water to help us remind us of our goals. So this was the original black and white logo. So I wanted I was debating between like a circle or a square because usually it would just be the swirl on a plain background. But for the logo, I thought that the ball was better represented here. And this is the color logo. Yeah. And this was my original stylescape. It's very different from where it ended up heading. But there's still like the cool and the hot colors against each other, and there's contrasting, and there's lots of nature involved in the original concept. Yeah, you can still see a lot of swirls. Originally, it was inspired by the roses in the stylescape. Yeah, that's where it began. So these are some of the business cards. Yeah, so I chose like a blue gradient because I wanted, I felt like it described the ocean a little bit better, how there's like different shades in a body of water. And this is the poster. Yeah, I wanted, yeah, it's very similar to the last one. Yeah, and the tagline was "Enjoy without guilt," and you can see that there's lots of curves in the wording and lots of levels. So this is my first asset. I would have to make the product myself. I don't think it's very widely available. So in place of the reusable cup, I just did a normal coffee cup for now. And I wanted to add the pink accent on the top because I want to match with the logo. And then my second asset was a reusable lunchbox because I feel like a lot of snacks are often had along with the boba drink. So along with bringing your reusable cup, you also bring your reusable lunchbox. And then this is a paper bag. So if you wanted to buy a few different items, you could carry around with the bag. So this was my first time using Photoshop and Illustrator and Figma and a lot of other resources. And I'm definitely still a beginner, as you can see. But I learned so much in this class, and I would love for this summer to try to experiment with new brand concepts and improve my skills even more now that I've been equipped with all this knowledge and all these first time tryouts of these things. And yeah, it's been amazing to see what all my peers have been able to do as also beginners and see how far they've gone. And that's very inspiring. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was great. Yeah, I'm really excited that you want to keep going, keep branding over the summer. I really encourage you to take on more branding projects and just kind of give yourself these little briefs because that's just how you get better and how you like get more seasoned as a designer, I guess. But I really love the concept of your brand. And I think the assets you chose worked really well. And I like the blues and the pinks. I feel like those are always like really solid colors to go to when you're building a brand. But yeah, I really liked your logo and like the swirl and just your mission and vision, your values behind your brand. And I think you did a great job kind of just explaining your intentions and presenting in general. So good job.
Thank you, Carolyn. Let's all try to keep under like 2-3 minutes. But no worries. But yeah, I think it's Camille next.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go fast. I do have a lot of assets though, but I'll just like gloss over them. Okay, so my brand is Altitude and it's a coffee brand. Oh, is Penguin gonna work? Okay, so sorry. Okay, so my brand Altitude, it's a coffee brand that I started with my sister and her husband, and I'm mainly the product designer for it right now. So it's like a launch brand, and I'm doing the designs through this class, which is really cool. So the mission is that we want anyone, anywhere to enjoy high quality, ethically sourced specialty coffee, and we kind of want to break down the stigma that this kind of premium specialty coffee isn't only enjoyed in like a certain way, but coffee is really enjoyed like however you want it to be, and it doesn't really matter what equipment you have, like it'll work. And our values are that we're a sustainable brand, we're environmentally friendly, we try to like source like sustainable packaging and all of that, and we have a focus on exploration and adventure. So that's like our target audience. Sorry if I'm talking fast, I'm trying to keep this short. Okay, so our brand rationale was so Altitude was founded like just last year basically, and we started releasing products the beginning of April. So yeah, I'm the product designer for it because all of us, our team, share a love for coffee and the outdoors. The main color palette right now is black and white, but we do have accent colors like Katrina suggested. I remember when she like gave me critique, so I added blue, orange, and purple to represent like our different types of coffee, and I'll go into that later. And then our fonts are Manifesto and then Fragment Core Roman. So the start of this for this brand, the left side are like the mood boards that I had. I wanted to go with just black and white, but I did end up like kind of combining both. And then those are just sketches of the logos. Oh my God, they're so bad now that I look at it. But then I like developed it further in like Illustrator, and I kind of, because it's Altitude, it starts with an A. I kind of want to play around with like the mountain because it kind of looks like an A. And the reason why we chose like a drawing compass is that their compasses are made to like create maps themselves. And our grandpa's an architect too, so that kind of reminded us like of our like origin and like growing up and all that stuff. So yeah, these are our logos in white and black. So I kind of, the base logo, which is like just altitude, I kind of wanted to incorporate that in like different types of designs. So yeah, I have the mountain compass here. And then now I'm going into assets. I really want to have these like made and produced in the future, but these are kind of just mock-ups right now. So these are like water bottles, the left and right side. And then the left side is a mock-up of like what our coffee would look like. Surfrider, so the reason why it's blue, Surfrider, yeah. And then the right side is an apron, because I remember someone suggested I should do an apron asset. So and my sister and I actually want to have maybe Altitude Coffee be like an actual coffee shop in the future. Maybe, we don't know yet. We're just an online site right now. Tote bag and a mug with the kind of like same design. Our posters, like again, like what I was saying with the map, this is like topography. And then the right side, the nature part. And then like everything put together, like our website on a phone, the poster, and the business card. And then our Instagram and our website on phones. And then our website on a laptop. And then our business card. I actually want to make these so I can, you know, just pass them out to people on in the street. I don't know. And then stickers and like a t-shirt. But I definitely want to develop these further because these are just like the first iterations. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing these designs in this class, and I'll probably implement it for our brand in the future. I will drop our link in the chat if you guys want to buy coffee right now. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Camille. I saw your brand grow over, like from the start. I also followed you, like, because I follow you, so I see you like promote your brand. And suddenly, I really love the new, like the Surfrider coffee bean. Like, I was like, damn, that looks so cool. I think like I'll actually buy it. If it looked like that, I'll definitely buy it. And I think like you're like literally just from last week to this week, a lot changed, and like it's really good. I love like the new like your new added illustrations. I think that was really good, and yeah, really strong.
So cute. Yeah, just adding on to that, I feel like your assets were so cute. I loved the topography thing. That one really got me. I feel like it's so clever and cute and so thoughtful. So I'm really excited to see this come to life.
Okay, thank you guys for hosting this class because I was able to do it because of you guys.
Well, yeah, you should collab with Malette because she provides the creamer, and you can do the, the coffee.
Oh my god, I'll probably contact her and be like, hey, let's join forces. But yeah, thank you.
Of course, I think after it's Vivian.
Yes. Okay. So my brand is called Sway, and it is a skincare brand. The mission of the brand is to create the purest skincare products for all skin types with natural ingredients, non-alcohol, 100% vegan. And the vision of the brand is to make customers feel great about their skin with little effort. And what the brand values is nature, simplicity, and honesty in ingredients. So a quick rationale, Sway is a redesign of a homemade skincare brand that I created for my client a few months ago. I initially only designed the logo, but I decided to kind of extend on like the entire branding. And for color, I chose blue, and it shows like the vivid and futuristic look that I really wanted to go for. I started out with like a turquoise color, but I kind of changed my mind. So yeah, and also for the font, I had this more bold typeface to kind of break away from this stereotypical like feminine branding of skincare brands. And for logo, I um I designed like a raindrop symbol with a typeface, and the raindrop symbol
is flexible that can be overlaid with patterns and colors. So here is a quick sketch. I lost my first hand-drawn version of my sketches, but here is like a second version of what I did on Illustrator. And here is the final logo in black and white. The typographies I used are Adriana Extended and Format DJ Artec. And here are the colors. These are the kind of like the illustrations I did. Not really, I don't know. Kind of came up with this like really late in the project, but I guess they look okay. And here is my business cards. The posters I made, I tried to implement some pictures of like actual people, so it feels more like human, customer centered. And some product mock-ups. This is like one of the products, like the lip balm and a serum drop bottle. Yeah, I just kind of experience with a lot of like different products and stuff. So here are the final reflection. I had a lot of fun making this project, and I realized I learned so much, whether it's like conceptually or like practical skills on Illustrator and Photoshop. So yeah, thank you.
This looks great. Like I really appreciate your focus on type, and like it's not easy, I think, in Photoshop and Illustrator to get your text to do what you want it to, especially if you're using other fonts or not designing your own font. So I think you did a really great job of that, and it's super successful for that, and really clean shapes and just clean design overall. So congrats, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I really like how, I don't know, it's like unconventional to have a skincare brand have that very sleek, like edgy, realistic design, I want to say, but I think it works very well, and they're just clean. The posters especially, and like the aqua bomb mock-up is insane. Like the embossed letters, beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, great job, Vivian. Like, very good job. Also, yeah, the bomb mock-up. I never saw like a mock-up like that, so very good job. Yeah. I think after Vivian, it's let me see, Anna.
Yeah, I can go next. Okay, can everyone see?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to go a little quicker. So my brand name is called Ambrosia, and it's basically a modern kitchenware brand that aims to spice up the aura of your kitchen and enhance your cooking experience as a whole. And then the name itself means pleasant to taste and smell in Greek mythology, and the company aims to tantalize your taste buds to a level you have never experienced before. And then here is my mission, which is to enable the average person to begin their culinary adventure in the kitchen by equipping them with the necessary tools, vision, stimulate artistry, and innovation in the kitchen to activate the inner chefs within each one of us. And values are centered around affordability, practicality, and then it's designed to optimize your storage space, and then without compromising craftsmanship. And then I wrote this in third person, so it might seem kind of strange. So our creator was inspired to create this brand when she moved into her first apartment as an undergraduate. As she started to cook by herself and to buy her own kitchen essentials, it sparked a fire in her to create a line of cookware that was both affordable, practical, and stylish for the average consumer, and particularly for one-person households. Yeah, and then so this is some of my explanations about the design choices that I made. So my products are focused more around sophistication mixed with minimalism.
So I chose to pick more muted colors as my color palette. And then I ended up choosing warm terracotta colors just to give you that sense of hominess and comfort whenever you use our products. And then for my logo design, I ended up going with a font called Margaza. And then I decided to take more of instead of an illustrative style approach, I opted more for simple graphics and then real life photography. And then this is some of my stylescapes that I made in the beginning of the class. And then I ended up going with the first one just because I liked the color scheme a lot better and I thought it worked out with my brand compared to the other ones. And then this is my initial sketches of my logos. You can see that I went for more like icons and illustrations in the beginning, but then I decided to like go with a type font in the end as my logo. And then this is my color palette. Yeah, and then this is my business cards. The left is more minimal and simple, and then the right I decided to incorporate more colors. And then this is my posters. I used these pictures from a photography website for commercial use. And then I paired these two together just because I thought the colors went well together. And then this is my third poster. It has a more darker feel with the shadowing and then the smoke from the pot. And this is my store sign. I just took the A from my logo and just put it on the sign as is. And then the shopping bag, I wanted it to kind of emulate the feel of more like luxury handbag company brands that like how Prada, Coach, like Kate Spade, how like their shopping bags kind of feel. So that's why I only put my company name on it. And then this is some of my plating, and then calendar. I was more inspired to do calendars just because this is more random, but whenever I go to 99 Ranch Market or just like other dinnerware stores in general, they always somehow have like their own calendar designs and then they give it out for like freebies. So that's what I was planning to do with this. Okay, and then for my reflection, this was actually my first DeCal class at Berkeley. So I was really excited coming into this class. And I mostly had experience with like illustrating apps on the iPad and tablets and such. So I didn't really have like a prior experience with Adobe Creative Cloud applications. So I was really excited to learn some of like the basic skills and tools with Illustrator and Photoshop. And then I look forward to improving some of my graphic design skills later on. And then, yeah, I just really enjoyed learning about different design terms and just particularly how some like companies and businesses, how their logos have evolved over time or like how they rebranded themselves. I just found like our case studies on Chobani and then Burger King to be really fascinating. Yeah, and then I hope to take some of the resources and knowledge that I learned from this class and then start building my own personal portfolio in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Yay, thank you. That was awesome. I'm just gonna go quickly, but that was so exciting to watch. And like I've seen your brand a couple of times already, and I think you did a really great job. So I'm really proud of how it turned out. And yeah, I really hope you continue branding in the future. And yeah, you did a really great job.
It was great. I second everything Katrina said. We have one more person, Diego?
I think there's two. So it's I think it was Noel and then Tiffany, if you're here. Okay, yeah. Hopefully we can wrap it up with before 8. But yeah, feel free to-
Okay, so mine is like kind of like slide presentation style, but I'll go through it super quick and I'll share my screen. Okay, so my brand is called The Lash Critic, with a play on lash, because it's going to be like an LA base instead of like a typical brand with products. Mine is more so like a blog. Yeah, let me see if I can. I guess I have to just go like this. Okay, so the mission behind my thing is to assist people, assist girls or boys who are looking to get their lashes done in LA with just the selection of the great lash tech. If you get your lashes done, you know there's kind of like an unequal power dynamic between the lash artist and the customer. So I kind of aim to place more power in the hands of the paying customer. And I also aim to highlight some of the hidden gems in the lash game. Commonly, people go to really expensive lash techs, but there's a lot of great low-key girls who do great lashes for a very affordable price. Here's like a black and white look at my logo. And then here's kind of like, I kind of added the color to it. Wanted to see where I wanted to go, but kind of wanted to keep it plain. So in terms of my color scheme, I wanted it to be extremely like feminine and girly. I went back and forth about this because it's kind of, my blog is kind of going to be like an exploitative blog almost, because I'm going to highlight the good and the bad of, you know, the lash world. So like lash techs who I've gone to who have been super rude or just can't do great lashes. So I thought about going with another color scheme, one that might be more bold or in your face. But at the end of the day, I kind of just liked the pinks and the blues and the browns because I felt like it was on trend with just like beauty and glamour. So in terms of the process, I had like a few little like mock-up little designs that I did before just sticking with my initial logo. Here are some of them. One of the things that I was going to do is like put like so for the acid example, put like something that I could use for like if I approved of like a lash tech, or if I disapproved, if I didn't like them, but it was kind of just like my way of going about it. So for my typography inspo behind my like logo, behind the text, the type used for my logo, I actually got it from this super bougie, well-known candle. And this candle actually popped off from a beauty blog itself. So kind of one of my takeaways, which I'll touch a bit on later, one of my takeaways was really looking at other not lash, but beauty blogs to see like some of the things that they focus on and how they branded themselves. So I really liked this type of type. Here's some business cards. So the one on the bottom was actually like my mock-up business card that I decided to not go with just because I wanted to keep it super simplistic. At the end of the day, I was gonna do a lot because I think like glamour is like super extra, but yeah, decided to keep it minimal. Here's some posters that I had done, and I kind of want to keep it with like the little cute quotes. So I did like a little example of like, you want yourself with bad lashes. That I'll put throughout like my Instagram feed, because this, I didn't mention this, but this blog is going to be Instagram based. And here's some examples. I was going to do like a little lash guide just on how to like lash maintenance and stuff, but here's really like a mock-up of something that I would post on my blog. And like there's a long like little spiel about like just the lash person that I went to in LA. And then usually lash artists take like final pictures. So incorporating like the final pictures of how my lashes looked and, you know, my reviews. So takeaways, branding for a blog was a bit more challenging compared to branding for a business that has actual products because I wasn't selling anything. And then understanding the importance of minimalism because I was trying to do a lot, especially with like my business card. And then, like I said, looking at how other beauty blogs market and brand themselves was key in trying to figure out which direction I wanted to go into. So like Into the Gloss is kind of the blog that really blew up the candle that I got my type from. And then brand rationale. So as a person who gets my lashes done religiously, I've gone to a fair share of lash technicians, some good, some bad. Selecting a lash tech who is kind, affordable, and can do great lashes can be hard, especially in the sea of Instagram lash techs. Like I said, I noticed this huge power dynamic, and just there's a lot of protocol that goes kind of behind the scenes on the side of the customer and side of the person doing them. And so, what am I? So I aim to expose the flaws of kind of the lash world through my blog by rating my experience with different LA-based lash techs. So I will base my reviews off a criteria which includes, but is not limited to, accuracy of desired lash style, personality of lash tech, time in which it took to do my lashes, price, location, and like retention. So if my lashes all fall out or like, yeah. And then, like I said, decided to stick with a super feminine feel. Like I said, although this blog is meant to expose the good and the bad, I didn't want to go super bold. I still wanted to be light and dainty because I think that's what like lashes really represent. And then incorporating like the cute slogans and quotes behind or like throughout my page. Yeah, and that's it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Noelle. I know it's almost end, but great job on your brand. I think over the semester you definitely like your intention was strong. Your intention behind it was very strong, and you definitely carried it out from your brand. So yeah, thank you so much. Tiffany, if you could like speed through your thing, I'm sorry we went over time, but if anyone can stay, and then we'll be ending like 2 minutes. I think we did.
Yeah, sorry, thanks for that. So my brand is Nonla, so it's Vietnamese coffee. Oops. Okay, so before I jump into my brand, I'll just do like a quick intro about what Nonla is. So it's like, I guess, an Americanized word that I made by taking out the accents as well as squishing the words non la together, which in Vietnamese is like the Vietnamese conical hat. So that's just like an intro to what the rest of the branding will look like. So this is just our mission, vision, and values. So basically Vietnamese coffee to millennials and Gen Z. That's essentially what you need to take away from this. So for my colors and typography, I kind of went for like a lot of greens and browns, but I also wanted to have it like pop a little. So I added like blues, reds, and oranges for my colors. And you can see the type. So these are some of the initial sketches I had for my brand for the logo. So I tried out like a lot of different types of logos, as you can see. And then in the end, these are what I actually came up with. So you can see the black and white logo and the colored logo. Try to go for more of a playful look by tilting like the hat on the A and then removing like the black outline so that it looks a bit softer on the colored version. And this is just what like the mock-up looks like for the business card. So in the back, on the back side, there's like a leaf, and that's because the word la in like non-la means leaf. So I thought it would be like a good tie-in to what like the name is. Just a mock-up. And so these are my posters. So I went for a series of posters, and I try to really be like kind of witty with what like the phrasing or like the voice was. So everything is like related to like beans or coffee. So like spill the beans, it's coffee time, press Control-C to coffee, which if anyone doesn't get it, it's like Control-C to copy, but like coffee. So it sounds kind of similar. And then it's like Vietnam, been there, done that. So they're all kind of like funny on the funny side, I hope. And then these are the mock-ups. I didn't mock up every single one, but as you can see on the right, if you combine all the posters, they actually make a singular image because the coffee spills onto all 4 posters. So yeah. These are some other assets I made, bringing back like the mascot logo that I had originally sketched in the beginning, but ended up not going for, as well as like the leaf in the business card. And then I also did some coffee packaging. And I guess the key point here is that on the background like pattern, it seems like it's just a bunch of random like squiggles, which is like kind of trendy or whatever. But I actually ended up incorporating like the Vietnamese accent marks to use as those marks in the background, because I thought it would be like a good like double meaning behind it, I guess. Also bringing back the mascot as well.
And then these are just my reflections and brand rationale, but I could talk through it a bit. So I guess for me, the biggest thing with my brand is just like incorporating a lot of like the cultural meanings behind it, but without being too explicit or like too in your face. So like I definitely tried to do a lot of things that had like not double meanings, but like doubled as designs. And then it's like fun little Easter eggs for whoever does understand it, but whoever doesn't, it's still like fun and nice to look at. And yeah, that's basically what my brand is. I know I sped through it, but yeah.
I love this.
Oh, go ahead, Ella.
Oh, sorry. I've just seen this progress like over the semester, and it's so nice to see it all together. And I really appreciate your emphasis on like copyright and, you know, like puns and just having fun with language. And I think you put so much into the detail. Like I didn't realize like that the name meant leaf, and I also didn't realize that the detail was like accent marks. So just great attention to detail. This turned out amazing. So congratulations.
Yeah, I was checking everything Ella said. It's very like subtle but clever how you incorporate so much like rich detail into your design, and then also how you showcase it in the presentation. And yeah, I would carry that forward in your portfolio if you put this on there. Yeah, just clever and thought out brand.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love just seeing all of it and just watching your brand improve throughout the semester. And I think everything was super well thought out. So congrats on that. Great job. Yeah, I loved that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for like presenting and sharing your brands. And I know we went over time, but this is the last lecture of the semester, so you guys had like a good time learning and like developing, you know, Illustrator, Photoshop skills, learning about brands and like what the importance of mission, vision, and stuff is, and just like, you know, have fun like building a piece that you can definitely put in your portfolio, just share with friends, or you know, for some of you, put into real life. So yeah, thank you so much, and hope you had a great semester. From the four of us, yes, it's now over. No more Monday critiques or like deadlines you have anymore. But yeah, feel free to reach out to any of us. At least I'll still be on campus. Christina will be graduating. You can contact our Facebook, Instagram handles, whatever, any like design stuff. You can ask us too. And yeah, always here to help you on your journey. Everyone might add me on Instagram. Here it is.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for being the last class I'll ever teach. And yeah, it's my last class of Berkeley ever. So thank you for being part of it. And if you ever want to reach out to talk to me about anything, I'm always here or on Instagram. Yeah, so don't be shy. I'm always here. Thank you so much.
That was great seeing everyone's work. It's impressive how far everyone came along in like this short semester and under the circumstances. So it was great.
Agreed. I hope to see some of you back on campus. And good luck with everything. It was so nice to see everybody's work.
Yay.